Welcome to today's discussion on public-private partnerships, also known as PPPs. As we navigate through the complexities of the modern world, the need for efficient, sustainable, and high-quality public services is more pressing than ever. In this context, PPPs have emerged as a valuable tool, blending the strengths of the public and private sectors to deliver these services. They are essentially a cooperative arrangement between two or more public and private sectors. They're typically long-term and involve the private sector in providing infrastructures and services traditionally delivered by the public sector. However, the success of these partnerships doesn't come easily. It requires careful planning, evaluation, and a thorough understanding of both the advantages and potential challenges. Today, we will delve deeper into these aspects, shedding light on the key elements that make a PPP project successful. Before engaging in PPPs, public authorities must carefully assess and evaluate the economic viability to ensure the success of these projects. Let's start by understanding the fundamental elements that contribute to the success of PPP projects. High on the list is project suitability. Not all projects are cut out for a PPP structure. A careful evaluation of the project's characteristics and requirements is vital to determine if it aligns well with the strengths and benefits of a PPP model. This initial step sets the stage for a fruitful partnership between the public and private sectors. But project suitability isn't the only factor. Equally important is the evaluation and selection of the appropriate PPP form. This isn't a cookie-cutter process. Each project is unique with its own scope, complexity, and potential risks. These factors need to be thoroughly analyzed to choose the most fitting PPP form. This diversity in PPP forms can be seen as a strength, allowing for flexibility and customization in project structuring. It's about tailoring the PPP model to fit the project, rather than forcing the project to fit the model. This bespoke approach enhances the chances of a successful outcome. Yet, it's also a challenge. The selection of the correct PPP form requires expertise and a deep understanding of the project. It's a process that demands time, resources, and a keen eye for detail. It's about balancing the needs of the project with the capabilities and interests of the private partner. And while this process may seem daunting, remember that the potential rewards are significant. A well-structured PPP can bring about enhanced resource management, more efficient service delivery, and a successful project implementation. So as we navigate the world of PPPs, let's not forget these key elements: project suitability, proper evaluation, and the selection of the correct PPP form. These are the pillars upon which successful PPP projects are built. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Customization is key. Now that we understand the core elements, let's explore the advantages that PPPs bring to the table. Public-private partnerships are not just about sharing costs or pooling resources. They're a transformative approach to public service delivery, bringing with them a host of benefits. Firstly, PPPs offer a solution to the perennial problem of scarce public resources. They allow us to tap into the vast reservoirs of private capital, ensuring necessary investments in the public sector. This not only fills the funding gap, but also ensures more effective management of public resources, optimizing their use and allocation. Secondly, PPPs contribute to higher quality and timely provision of public services. The private sector is often viewed as more efficient and innovative than its public counterpart. By leveraging the private sector's expertise and efficiency, we can deliver public services that are not just better, but also more responsive to the needs of the public. But the benefits of PPPs extend beyond service delivery. They also have a positive impact on the economy as a whole. PPPs can stimulate economic activity, create jobs, and foster a more competitive business environment. Another significant advantage of PPPs is their potential to mitigate risks. The sharing of risks between the public and private partners can lead to better project outcomes, as both parties have a vested interest in the project's success. Most importantly, PPPs often result in investment projects being implemented on schedule, avoiding unforeseen extra expenditures for the public sector. This is because the private sector is usually more adept at controlling costs and meeting deadlines, thanks to their experience and market discipline. Lastly, let's not forget the private entity's long-term remuneration. This is not just a reward for their investment, but also a powerful incentive that attracts sustained private sector interest and commitment. This is particularly important in sectors and regions where public services are underdeveloped or inadequate. In summary, PPPs offer a win-win solution, combining the strengths of both the public and private sectors. They allow us to deliver better, more efficient public services while also ensuring that our resources are used in the most effective manner. The private entity's long-term remuneration is another advantage, attracting sustained private sector interest and commitment. While PPPs offer numerous benefits, it's crucial to acknowledge and address potential disadvantages. Indeed, as with any model of business, PPPs come with their own set of challenges. One of the most common concerns is that infrastructure or services delivered through PPPs may end up being more expensive than if they were procured through traditional methods. This can happen due to a variety of reasons such as higher financing costs, transaction costs, and the need for the private partner to generate a profit. Another potential disadvantage is the impact on future fiscal indicators. When it comes to PPPs, public sector payment obligations are often postponed to later periods. This deferral can create a fiscal illusion where the current cost of public services seems lower than it actually is, potentially leading to fiscal stress in the future. Then there's the procurement procedure. PPPs typically involve complex contractual arrangements and require a high level of financial, technical, and legal expertise. As a result, the procurement process can be lengthier and more costly compared to traditional methods. This can be a deterrent for some public entities, especially those with limited resources or experience in managing PPPs. Finally, let's talk about the elephant in the room: the long-term and relatively inflexible nature of PPP agreements. These contracts can span decades, and during this time, many unforeseen events can occur. Political, economic, and social contexts can change dramatically, and technological advancements can render some contractual terms obsolete. This makes it challenging to predict and evaluate all potential events that may influence future activities. However, it's important to remember that these challenges aren't insurmountable. With careful planning, thorough evaluation, and continual monitoring, many of these issues can be mitigated. The key lies in understanding these potential pitfalls and proactively addressing them during the planning and contract negotiation stages. Lastly, the long-term and relatively inflexible nature of PPP agreements can be challenging due to the inability to predict and evaluate all potential events that may influence future activities. In conclusion, successful PPP projects hinge on careful consideration of project suitability, proper evaluation, and the selection of the correct PPP form. Today, we've unraveled the complexity of PPPs, shedding light on the key aspects that determine their success. We've learned that every project needs to be assessed for its compatibility with the PPP model, ensuring its alignment with the strengths and benefits of this approach. Additionally, the importance of a thorough evaluation and selection of the appropriate PPP form cannot be overstated, with the understanding that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but rather a customized strategy. We've also delved into the advantages that PPPs bring to the table, from effective management of public resources to high quality and timely provision of public services. However, potential disadvantages, such as cost implications and long-term fiscal impacts, require careful consideration, underlining the need for a balanced evaluation. While there are advantages such as enhanced resource management and proper allocation, potential disadvantages must also be considered to ensure the success of PPP projects.